I was extremely lucky to get any footage from Egypt because this is not normal and this didn't happen in Roehampton. So I thought, what the hell? How am I supposed to get any sort of footage if it's behind the court?
Through the fence.
Get in there, Jim, and like just to get destroyed. Like you have to have fun with it so you can keep doing it for a long time.
Okay, I want to ask you about your content because that's obviously a big part of what you're doing.
Yes.
It's ideally for you, I guess it's supporting financially at some point. But first, I just want to ask, what's it like putting yourself out there? Because essentially, it sounds, and from what I've heard, it's tough. You've got to really put yourself out there with this content that you're creating.
Yeah, I mean, I did want to do it, and my inspiration for doing it. I actually came across. This is the same answer as Felix, but it's Alexander Donsky, from Bulgaria, and he had his Operation Liftoff, and I was watching his tournaments in Thailand and other places, and that's the first tennis content I've really seen. And obviously, it would be stupid not to mention Felix because he's doing it, so it makes sense. But also Carousel is another great one. But yeah, Alex Donsky had just showed me it's a bit more real, like less fancy editing and stuff. It's just real camera vlog work, and I just found that personally inspiring for me.
Okay, is that what you think? Like, because I think different people like different things, right? A lot of people, I don't know. I was chatting to someone about Mr. Beast the other day. Obviously, the YouTuber, obviously not tennis content, but that's a specific type of content, like really well edited. Obviously, very very clickbaity, and he gets people in, and he wants people to watch for a long time. What's do you think? You're, like you just said, Donsky, you really liked that real sort of content where it's just you being real with your listeners and your viewers.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, I love that. Like, Felix editing's amazing. Like, I obviously want to improve my content. I need to have higher quality, and that comes with better editing. But right now, I'm trying to ball on my budget and do it all myself. So I can't afford to spend, say for a whole day of editing for it to do 10 views and waste my time. So I have to be able to find a way of editing where I can get, a lot of transitions and music and effects and, easily and quickly and efficiently. And I found my own personal way of doing it where I'm not going over the top. I could spend another 10 hours editing and probably making it look more professional, but I'm trying to be more efficient and just pump content out. And the better it gets, I guess. I think I'll get better as an editor as I go along because I haven't done it for long, so obviously I'm learning it. It's a new skill for me, so I'm doing it as best as I can and as simple as I can. But without Alex Donsky, I think his content was just raw and real. Like I saw his hotel room I know that's weird, but I mean him like prepping in the morning, going out for lunch, traveling, walking, and signing in and stuff like that. And I feel like some YouTubers don't include that, or they might do, but not for a period of over videos and stuff. And I feel like I like all the realistic stuff, not just highlights and things. Yeah. So
no, it makes sense. And if I'm honest, I'm pretty similar. I like that real stuff. Obviously I love a good edit, but I think that makes a lot of sense. And do what you like doing as well. And you clearly like not spending ages on it, but just getting it out there and going that sort of route. But another question I wanted to ask you was where do you want it to go? Like, do you have a 2-year plan of be like, right, in 2 years this is where I want to be with my content?
No, I mean personally right now for the very start, I obviously want to get monetized. I'm not there yet. I'm about halfway for everyone who's watching. I need to get to 4,000 watch hours, and right now I've just hit pretty much 2,000. So
2,000 watch hours across your whole channel for the duration since it started.
So it's over 2,000 with shorts, but they only count videos. So for everyone that's interested in that, you have to get to 4,000 to reach that. So even if I reach 2,000 subscribers, which is probably more likely, 2,000 watch hours is really tough to get because I feel like my channel's been going decent. It started off well with that good video at the start, but then it has got decent views, and I feel like now I feel like I will make it in time because I think it says 4,000 in a year, so it will take off hours, and I'll have to make that up if I don't make it within a year, I think, which puts a bit of time pressure. But now all my videos go out to a fan base, a tiny one, essentially, or a little guaranteed audience.
Yeah.
So I know that it's going to be a little bit easier to get the ball rolling. But yeah, I mean, my aim is just to pump out loads of content and see where it takes me, because in the future, you know, I do want to be a tennis coach at some point, I feel like, and I do want to do that performance-wise. I think that just suits me better as a player and a coach. I like working with performance players, so I do feel like maybe at some point far in the future, a potential academy or something, and I can grow this brand as a way to show my journey to everyone and what I went through, and then build it as a brand, so I can share and expose more players, and basically just build it a little bit as a brand.
Yeah, and like you mentioned that word brand, obviously there's more and more content creation happening from players, right? Because I think people have seen the likes of Felix, Carew do really well. How important do you think it is to stand out and have that difference that you think actually that's going to get people watching my videos instead of the other ranked player?
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about this, and it's a good question, because it's like you have to copy them to an extent, because essentially, I mean, I'm not trying to copy anyone, because all I'm doing is tennis and showing what I'm doing. So obviously they're doing tennis as well, and all the same tournaments, so it's going to look similar. But I think my channel effectively will be a little bit different, because I think if I can include more variety in my channel, now I know it's a tennis audience, but I want to once I grow this a little bit more, I want it to expand a bit more into fitness people, lifestyle people, and also me as a person, not just a tennis player. And I feel like a lot of big YouTubers, there are people like you have, you know, your big names, but it's not necessarily what they do. It's just them as a person, and they can do whatever they want, and their audience will follow them. So if I include, like, right now I'm trying to branch out my tennis as much as possible, and then I'll add live stuff like vlogging or just traveling a little bit. Like if I go on a holiday again, I might vlog some of that. So that's not tennis related, that other tennis people won't really do. I feel like I do some coaching. I can do some coaching on my channel, some reviews. I can do some I'm trying to potentially do some reactions. So just some different type of tennis content, you know, that will be noticed as like, oh, I'm not just doing tournaments, like I only does tournaments. But I feel like different style of content, people get to know me more and see how I work or operate as a person. And they might like it, they might not, but I'm putting it out there because it doesn't really matter. I feel like it's, for me, YouTube I'm doing is fun. It's nothing serious. Like, it's just a bit of fun to put the camera up and vlog everything. It's so easy and quick. I'm deliberately not like taking it to an extreme of absolutely perfecting everything. Like I do prefer that, but it's going to take forever, and it's easy, especially in public, just to take the camera out, do a little bit of clipping, blah blah blah, and then throw it all together in the edit, because it's fun, it's easy, it's quick, it's not time consuming that much, and it's the easiest and most effective way to do it, especially when you're under pressure situations. Like if I've got a 30-minute slot to get that practice in, or recently I went to, you know, Roehampton, I played with this Blake Mott guy, and I got given the hit, he asked for a hit, I was there, and then obviously I brought my tripod, and he's got a 30-minute session, or whatever it is. I was just like, can I quickly put the camera at the back of court? And so every time we do cross courts backhand, I just move the camera over. I can't do anything extravagant because I'm wasting his time otherwise. So I have to be very careful and respectful of other people, and I don't want to impose on, you know, I have to ask whether they're okay, obviously, with it, and be quick with it, because I don't want to take the time up.
Yeah, I guess it's striking the right balance, isn't it? Because to some extent you have to be a little bit pushy, not only to push yourself to do it, but also to be like, oh, it would be really helpful for me, whatever, because otherwise a lot of people will just turn you down. But then on the other side, like you say, you've got to be respectful, because otherwise you'll get a bad rep. And then
it's also harder than people think it is. Like, doing that stuff, it's like, okay, you just film your matches. But for example, I was extremely lucky to get any footage from Egypt, because this is not normal, and this didn't happen in Roehampton. They were so nice about it. But in Egypt, I had my GoPro on the Gorilla Pod. I asked if I could put it up. They said, no problem, fine. So I thought, can I just put it on the fence, like behind the court, which is normal? They said, no, you have to put it outside the court. So I thought, what the hell? How am I supposed to get any sort of footage if it's behind the court?
Through the fence.
Yeah, I know. So obviously there's the fence, so it would obstruct the vision. And luckily Charlie was there to film a few clips on his phone. So obviously I took whatever he filmed. There were some better points that he missed. There were some worse points that he missed. But I got whatever he took, luckily. But that sort of situation is diabolical because I prepped, to film for it. I've got the camera, the tripod, and I can't even film on court. So it's like, I don't even know what to do now. I had to bin it and just get on with the match and hope and ask Charlie to film some. So it's weird things like that. People don't understand that it's not just as pretty as, set up the tripod, take 20 minutes and make sure everything's perfect. It's not like that.
And also, like, you're trying to, at the end of the day, you're there to play tennis. Like,
it's not my main focus.
That's not your main focus. So it's understand, like, it's a lot to think about. Oh, is it recording? Is it looking in the right place? Am I just going to get, every forehand I hit in the tram line? And the thing is, like, I could be recording my practice session and then my SD card runs out of storage and your battery goes, and it's just like, you don't have time. Sorry guys, I'll go change that. Exactly.
You can't do that.
Yeah, I'd be stressing. So yeah, it's like a lot on your plate, which again is great for your experience with managing so many different things,
But I think it's taught me like a lot of skills. Like I didn't have that. I thought I didn't have the confidence to do it, but then I started actually with Alex Levinsky from Top Tennis Training. I was in a few of his videos. And then I thought, he helped me out with just getting ideas for it and starting it. And I thought I did a little one on, he has a second channel. It's called Tennis Pro TV or something like that on Instagram and YouTube. And we did a kick serve video and a Federer catch the ball one. And that was my first 2 appearances on camera for tennis, I think. Yeah. So that gave me a little bit of confidence to do it. And that's actually not that hard if you're just being as natural and as real as possible. I feel like if you're trying to put something on, it becomes harder because then you have to sustain that when you feel different every day. But I just literally, I am in person at what I am on camera.
Why do you think, just quickly, and then we'll move on to sort of our next little topic, but why do you think Alex has been so successful in his content creation?
I think it's the longevity of it. I mean, he's done it for years and he's actually has a status himself. Like, he was obviously a great player himself.
He was, top 200?
260.
Top 300, yeah.
So big number, and obviously played with some really good people. But he has that experience as a player, so people are already intrigued by that. And when I'm around him, obviously I can just ask him everything. He can pick up things in my game, and I know that I can trust his opinion because he's been through a lot playing different people as well. So competition-wise and creator-wise, it's been really lucky and to have him there as a tiny mentor or something.
It seems like he's been a good role model in terms of what you want to do as well, which is great. Important to have. Okay, so a few minutes ago you were mentioning, potentially taking your content and your YouTube channel to show more of your personality in your life. Obviously, your girlfriend means a lot to you. You've got a huge family as well, which I want to get into. Just first, your family, like there's so many of you. When I was with you growing up, like there was, 5, 6 siblings, I think it was. It was just incredible. You're all playing tennis. Just tell us a bit about that.
So obviously my big brother, Chet, he's been pretty much by my side throughout the junior career, which is great because we would play doubles tournaments together. We would obviously travel together. And we had, you would know this, it's a funny story. We had a camper van. And we would stay, it was freezing in the winter, there's no heating. I'm sleeping in this little tiny slot above the kitchen little stove. Or I was sleeping in the back of the car. And we would have a little stove in the boot to cook beans on.
I love it.
It sounds so stupid now, but it's really funny. But we would play tournaments, and obviously we would train together. So I also benefited a lot of competitively because having a brother, I would always want to beat him every time, and we would get into a lot of arguments, sometimes even fights, on and off court. So it just makes you, makes you burn. That burning to win, and I can't let him win and stuff like that. But even my sisters, play as well. That's nice. And then my younger brother, he picked it up. But it's, for example, like my two sisters and my younger brother, and obviously Chet as well, my older brother, they've stopped tennis now, so none of them really plays seriously anymore. But growing up, it's nice to have everyone involved in it. Yeah, just nice.
Nice to have. And also like that support as well. Like they've, as much as they're not playing now, they know what it's like to be going around from tournament to tournament to an extent. Obviously, it's a bit different now for you, but you've sort of taken it to the next level. And you're a very musical family too, right?
Yeah.
So has that played any part in who you are now?
Yeah, I mean, I think just being creative, and I feel like that's going to help me through my editing, and that'll show through my YouTube. And for example, I like art, and I did art growing up a lot, and to GCSE and stuff. And then obviously my family, I was in a band with my dad and my brother, so I play drums and piano, and we'd always be doing that throughout my childhood. And even recently, I still have the kit up in my room. I play now and again, because it's just nice to switch off. So I feel like that's more personal for my life, and I might show this in the future as well. But yeah, I feel like it's just another skill and a nice switch off, and another part of my brain that gets used. Coordination wise, it helps me a lot as well. So obviously, if I'm doing stuff with my hands and my feet at the same time, I think that in tennis, I feel like it helps my reactions and my visual as I can see the ball, and coordination where I can hit. I switched to single and double pretty comfortably because I've done a bit both, like growing up, and I felt like I've always been quick around the court. It's just helped. I think it just maybe subconsciously a little bit.
Would you ever buy the van off your parents to go touring around Europe?
Never. Maybe it was a really good one, but
not that van.
No, unfortunately, I can't drive. I mean, my girlfriend's recently been teaching me, so maybe we'll get that going. But it was a choice that I made because I was doing my level 2 coaching, so that was a bit expensive. That was like £800 or £900 to get that level 2 done. So I thought either I learn to drive at that time, or do my coaching level 2 to get more money to fund my tennis, or I drive, which is extremely expensive, and I won't really use that much if I'm flying abroad. Yeah. And I don't. My coaching was within coaching walking distance, and training I could just get a train, and it's worked out fine so far.
Yeah, no, that's good. Well, hopefully your girlfriend can teach you in no time. What other influences she had on you? Because that's how long have you been going out now? A couple of years.
Yeah, nearly 2 years. So it's about a year and 6 or 7 months. So. And
clearly, you do a lot together when you can and when you're home. How does that impact your life, and also when you're away too?
It's really interesting because I actually watched a video on Simon Freund. How do you say his name?
Yeah.
He talked about how he quit tennis, and Carousel mentioned this in his video where he's married, but it's really hard to balance your personal life and your professional life. He can people might find it really tricky to find the time to see and spend quality time with your partner, and I think for me, we set that barrier and we set that understanding and dynamic straight from the get-go. I was actually supposed to go to Leeds at the start.
Yeah, I remember.
If you remember.
Yeah.
So I ended up not doing that, and it's worked out really well. But obviously she lives in Guildford, so I would just get a train up most weekends, if not every weekend, to see her. So I can train really hard throughout the week, get all my work and train and practice and whatever, and then I have that switch off on the weekend where I can go out and just enjoy a little bit and relax and let my body recover. But now more recently, it's becoming apparent that it's quite expensive to do that. It's going to be training and potentially going out to eat and doing activities and whatever is going to be expensive over the period of months, 4 weeks doing that. It's a lot of money, and obviously if I'm staying there for 2 days out of a week is a lot of time not playing tennis over a period of year. That's whatever it is, the 7th or whatever it is. So it's quite a lot period of time actually. So I'm trying to reach out to other people in clubs nearby, and even potentially going further to make my time there more efficient and productive, because I can either film some videos up there, edit a video up there, use that time to maybe train out and play with players. I've really been struggling to find players around there, but recently I came up with like Chiswick is not far, and there's a couple good players there. So and like Duke's Meadow. Yeah. So in the future I'll try and get some more hits there. And obviously it's nice to play with more people rather than just the people I always play with. And just for always trying to be productive and put as many hours that will benefit my tennis. And that's aside from gym at home and training on court. So I'm trying to, every free second I get, I'm trying to, just be productive.
Yeah, you've got to manage your time so well, right? Yeah. You've got to do that. That's coming across like that's basically the thing you're best at is managing your time with so many different things going on in your life.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I want to bring you back lastly to your fourth biggest thing that you think has played a part, which was county cups and team events, whatever, things like that. Why did you say that? I'll let you have a sip first. Sorry.
I mean, county cups. I'm trying to think. I think it was one of my favourite ones has always been the 14s. Mm-hmm. We went through regionals, internationals.
I think that's the best one too.
Yeah, internationals in Nottingham, and we ended up just losing in a tiebreak. Like everything, we've never won in Sussex, I don't think. And
not in my days.
No. And then we ended up losing in a match tiebreak, like 10-8 to Middlesex, I think. And they played a joke of a tiebreak. We had a match point. That was the hardest thing. And this guy slapped the winner down the line like it didn't care, and it just went in. So obviously, even doing that though, you're bonding with everyone. Like you have so much fun doing activities like going bowling and having pool and going out into town and stuff like that, and doing like initiations. As just fun things as a group of people, like your best friends essentially for tennis. I think people that are even older, if I'm playing up an age group for County Cup, like when it gets to 18s and men's, you're playing with older people, which are always, most of the time are going to be better level than you. So even when I would look up to you playing and like Sam Nicholson and stuff, because I would see that you would hit the ball more consistently, harder as well, and more match fit and tough, and you're getting better scores against good people. So it's always like, I have to look up and try and improve my own game to get to your level. It's just so much fun. And also you get the chance of playing doubles and singles, and team spirit is really important. I feel like tennis can be grueling and really tough and serious, but you need to be able to have fun doing it. Otherwise you won't love it enough to do it day in and day out.
Yeah.
So it's like, you've seen Alcaraz or everyone else, if you're not smiling, having fun in the court, or even behind the scenes, like they're all smiling, having fun training because that's what they love. If it's all just like soul sucking, you just got to get in there, gym, and like just to get destroyed. Like you have to have fun with it so you can keep doing it for a long time.
Yeah, for sure. All right then. So I'm going to put you on the spot. What's one of your favorite initiations you've seen or done yourself?
Oh dear.
And I'll tell you mine afterwards.
Yeah, I think I got away with quite a few. I feel like
you personally, you can say another one too. You can say a different player that you've seen have a shocker of an initiation.
I'm really trying to remember. Can you go first?
I'll go first. Mine, in terms of a personal one, which was quite brutal, was I think it was the last night of our county cup. It was my first men's. It might have been 18s actually. It might have been my 18s county cup, and I was one of the youngest, so you know what that means, that you're going to probably get quite a bad initiation. And it was one of the last nights, so we had like dominoes to sort of celebrate. I think we did okay. And throughout the night, obviously, a lot of pizza boxes appear with our pizzas. We eat that, but then there's like 10 of us, so we have 10 empty pizza boxes at the end. And for the rest of the night, I've got to carry that for everywhere we go. So to the place we're going to play cards, where we might have a couple of drinks, or then inevitably the night doesn't end so early because they want me to keep on carrying the pizza boxes, so we go somewhere else, and it's just a nightmare. So there was me like in Frinton on the beach carrying 10 Domino's pizza boxes everywhere. It was carnage. It was carnage.
I mean, I've heard of like bad one. I actually can't remember who it was, but like you have to eat like a McFlurry or something from the floor in McDonald's and pretend to be a dog.
Oh,
You start barking on the floor on all fours and stuff. I mean, I think I got fairly decent ones. It was just like, a paper bag on my hair, on my head, and walk into a bus stop.
Bloody hell.
Or,
it's a bit brutal.
Or like run into Pizza Hut and shout "Let's go Sussex" like as loud as you can, like 3 times in a row. That's pretty normal ones.
Yeah, pretty standard.
But it's funny, you get people like get a number off a girl or something.
Yeah. Standard stuff.
Normal stuff.
No, that's good. That is good.
I'm sure there's more harder ones. Like someone was suggesting jump in the river with just your pants.
Yeah.
that's quite difficult.
Rough. I think we went in the river one year and I got pretty ill afterwards. That wasn't a good idea.
Don't do that.
So last time I'm going to go into a river in County Week. That's for sure. Not good. No, that's been good. That's been really, really good, mate. Thanks for discussing it all.
No worries.
Really interesting. And I think everyone listening will be pretty impressed with what you can do at only, 21? How old are you now?
21, yeah.
Yeah, 21. So second to last question I'm going to ask you is, you've sort of already answered this, but I want to ask you directly, what's the main reason you do it? Is there a place you want to get to in your life where you're like, right, that's why I'm doing it? Or is it just because you love it?
The main reason for tennis or YouTube?
Both. Why do you do it all?
Tennis, I don't know if I love it, but I never get tired of it. So I always find training and tournaments fun. And I think that comes from like County Cup and things like that, off-court experiences. Yeah. And like when we were doing running, like round Hovrek and like it's just a fitness day in day out, like trying to catch up to your lap times.
I was alright back then, to be fair. Not so good anymore.
But yeah, no. In general, tennis, I think I just want the lifestyle the most. I want to make people in my life proud, and I think that's going to make me happy as a person and get what I desire. Like just traveling, seeing the world, having fun and competing, just such a good challenge. And I think whenever you win a match, it's such a good feeling because it just proves to yourself that the work you put in paid off. So yeah, it's the lifestyle for me. And I think, I know I said already, building a CV, it's big for your future as well. And because I obviously decided not to go to uni because I had at that time a job. So I'm still, I've taken off half of that and I'm just doing coaching because I worked in the cafe. But I absolutely ridiculed my body a little bit too much for what I was getting paid. So I almost broke my spine.
Oh my god!
digging and building a playground and whatever, landscaping. So yeah, I thought it's safer to stick to tennis coaching, which was actually paying me more. So it makes sense.
Add landscaping to the CV, mate.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's crazy.
Just keep on building it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, for future, I need to build something that I feel like I can make money in the present modern day, which is going to be lots online. And I feel like you didn't have that 10 years ago. Anyone doing that 5 years ago. So it's important to get on it, I think. And because I'm not prioritizing it, like I'm doing it when I can. That's the important balance. I'm not prioritizing a filming day over a training day. I'm going to film if I can when I'm training. So that's important. I think, yeah, just the lifestyle of, just what it gives me, really, everything, all the attributes.
Yeah, it's the life you want to live, and you're living it already. You're almost living the dream, mate.
Well, if I see some prize money, maybe.
Yeah.
Or sponsorships.
We'll get you there. Yeah. Really good. Last question. Who do you think could come on the pod to give some more insight? It could be in your area where that's content creation, or it could be elsewhere. What have you got for me?
I was going to say obviously Charlie. He's similar to me, but he obviously has a different angle because he earlier took a little bit more time out. So either that or Keelan. I think he used to be, a good player, and Keelan Oakley. I look up to him a little bit for what he's achieved and how I can trust him in his game and what he can recognize in my game. And I also want to throw a curveball. Now in Eastbourne, one of my friends now called Max Beach, he was the desk organizer, so he would align courts, the practice courts to players.
Yeah.
So he would have been dealing with every single player in that event. So maybe it would be a good insight into how, more behind the scenes of practice court allocation and how people prepare. And yeah, things like, they're in food in the gym, blah, 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 blah. He would assign everything and organize things like that. So maybe that's a shout.
I like it a lot. That's tennis uncovered right there. It's just getting a bit of everything.
Yeah.
Get it on the podcast. I think that's a great one. If you can get me his, I'll have to look him up.
I'll send you his number.
You can send me his number. That's perfect. We'll get him on. We'll tag him in one of the Instagram things. Mate, you've been awesome. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was great to actually chat to someone deeply about this. It's hard it's not easy to share all of it just in a conversation with someone. So this is a nice way to do it.
Perfect. Well, we'll finish up there. Lem, thanks so much and see you soon.